Yo, what's up, guys? It's Trader X again out in Soweto. All right, so I'm back today. I know I've been promising you guys to show you some of my live trades. And a few minutes ago, actually about 15 minutes ago, actually not really 15 minutes ago, but 10 minutes ago, really, I took profit on two of the trades that I just want to show you and discuss with you guys. I'm also going to be going through two more. I think it was two more trades that I took yesterday and the day before, right? All right, so let's jump into it real quick. So here's the trades that I actually took. Where is it? So these are the three trades that I took. Um, these first two, this first one here, took profit today, like I said a few minutes ago, and the following one, this one here was, I believe it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and the one that hit my stop loss was 2 days ago. Let me just start with this one. I'm just gonna drag it and drop it onto my chart, and let's blow it up a little bit so you can see. Let's get my auto snap off here real quick. All right, so here's what I was thinking when I saw, this. Sorry about that. When I saw this uptrend here. Now you all know me. I don't like jumping into a trend that has already begun. But because this trend had been going on for quite some time, I found some opportunities in the trend, and that's something that I'm going to be going through with you guys in another video on how to actually ride the trend and know that the trade that you're about to go into is going to be a profitable trade or not, right? But there is ways for you to see that. I'll touch on it a bit right now, but I'll make a much more detailed video at a later stage explaining how you can ride the trend itself. All right, so let's begin here with this is a trade that I took here, right? And that's where it got filled. So what I was looking at is I saw price, sort of come to a stop here, right? Or come to rest right at the beginning of this trend line or below this arrow down. So I saw price give me some sort of a stop right here, and I saw this continuation take place right here. So this is right after market open, right? And I saw this continuation take place. And when I saw that continuation take place and take out the previous high, what I did was I took my fib and I slept it on, and all I had to do now was just wait. So as you see, my hot zone is right here. So my order, only one order was actually filled. I know it looks like two orders could have possibly been filled at the 62 and the 70, but only the 62 was filled, right? The reason it wasn't filled was due to spread, really. And that's one of the things that I just don't consider when I place my trades on the respective levels, the fib levels, right? But only 62 was filled here, right? And as the day progressed, we can clearly see that it literally just shot up, right? When it shot up like this, it presented me with another opportunity. Now, price right after having that interaction with my hot zone, it broke my fib to the outside, to the upside, right? So it broke my zero fib, and when it does that, I automatically know that I have to extend or move my fib, from the wave that literally broke the previous fib to the high side, right? So that's what I did, but I missed this trade here with that big hot zone. So I missed that trade. In the meantime, I was just holding on to this one trade that I actually took. And as you can see, I only got out roundabout here, right? That's where I got out. Let me just put an arrow right below it. At this candle here, that's where I actually got out. So my stop was actually hit there. And price just failed to take this new high that it actually made with the black line. And let me just remove the fib so you can have a clearer view. So this recent high here, price failed to break that, and when it failed to break that, I knew that this low here is most probably going to be taken, and that's exactly what happened the following day, right? So I took profit on that. That was my first trade. Let's go into the second trade real quick. So the second trade, that will be this one here. So the second trade is this one. So this is after I missed that other trade. It wouldn't have been successful because remember, my first target is the new high that price actually makes, right? So I would have most probably broken even had I decided to take, this trade that I showed you here. I would have most probably broken even as price, made this move all the way down, this harsh move all the way down, right? So I don't regret not jumping into that particular trade. And I mean, it would have filled, I think it was three of my trades that would have been filled. It would have taken the 69, I mean, the 62, the 70, and the 79. Actually, it was a 62, and maybe I would have maybe missed the 70 as well. So it would have been one trade. But nonetheless, like I'm saying, I don't regret not jumping in because, I would have broke even there. Anyway, so the following day, price just made a beeline to the downside. I'm sure y'all can all see that, right? So when I saw this move, what I normally do is I take note of all of the times where price just kind of rests, right, and tries to pull back. So that's what I did right here, right? I slept on my fib and price broke my fib to the downside, right? Now, I know what I always say to you guys is you need to extend your Fibonacci as you go along, right? What I think and I hope that most of you guys have picked up is that these bigger fibs that I'm showing you, where price does not go into a hot zone, is literally a Fibonacci level that you can take from the bigger or a bigger time frame, or that is derived from the bigger time frame, right? So I'll show you what I mean in once I'm done with this here particular trade. But anyway, let me just explain my process here. So I saw price break this fib here. When it broke it, I looked at how price actually broke my zero here to the downside, the fib, right? And I put my line here, I don't want to say trend line, but I put a line at that low right there. And as soon as it broke it, or as soon as it tried, or as soon as it came to a stop after this here wave here, when it came to a stop right here, I slept on my fib again and I put on my orders, but only one order was actually filled, right? Let me just remove this one. I've got another one there. But one of my orders was actually filled. As you can see, price did not make its way all the way up, to the 70 and the 79. It only picked up my 62 and down she went, right? So the whole day, that's the one trade that I actually took yesterday. Market open today. I missed two trades today, market open, right? But by the way things are going, I knew that there's most probably going to be, well, after I noticed that I missed those trades, I knew there was going to be another opportunity for me to jump in, which I did, right? And I'm currently still holding this particular trade. I'm sure y'all can see it. This trade here under the red arrow, that's the trade, one of the trades that I'm holding on to. That's going to be my runner, but I'll show you just now why I might not be holding on to it for quite a long time, but we'll get into that. Anyway, so yes, I slept on my fib, or rather, let me just, where was I actually? Oh yeah, here we go. So my order was filled, my 62 order was filled right there, right? And then what I saw here again was, let me just, and then I saw price come to rest right here. So let me just put an arrow right up here. Price came to rest right there. And what I did here again was when it comes to rest, I take up my fib, I slap it on from the high that had a reaction from the previous hot zone. And when price comes to a rest, I slap on my fib and I just wait, right? And as you can see, today, market open, two of my trades would have been filled right up there, and this is the trade that I actually missed, right? But that's not a problem. Like I said, I just made up for it, so that's okay. And remember guys, it's okay to miss trades because plenty more opportunities will present themselves. And don't suffer from FOMO again. All right, so I missed these two trades here. As you can see, 62 as well as 70 were filled right here, but I wasn't here to take these particular trades, right? But like I said, when I saw how price actually broke the fib with this move here, let me remove the fib. Let me just remove this fib here real quick. So when I saw this move here, I think I should make this a little bit thicker so everyone can see. So when I saw this move here to the downside, in reaction to this hot zone here in the gray box, I knew that should price come to rest again and take the previous low of that fib, which is right here, right, with this arrow up here, I knew that should price come back again, we're most likely going to see another reaction to the downside, right? And that's exactly what happened. So I saw price make a beeline to the downside as well as take the previous low, right? Again, I take a look at the manner in which price breaks that particular low, the previous low, right? And then I slept on my fib. So it broke the low quite nicely. So I slept on my fib, and all I had to do now was just wait for price to make contact with my hot zone, in which it did. So it picked up three of my trades, 62, 70, and 79, and down she went. So within 30 minutes, two of my trades had taken profit. I took profit round about here, right at the bottom of the previous low, right? And then the one at 79, I'm going to hold on to that as a runner, right? So those two trades are these two trades here. So let me just remove everything to make it a little bit clearer for everybody. Um, in a minute, guys. I won't be long. I won't be long. Terminal. There's my terminal. All right. So these are the two trades that I took. There's one, and there's a second one, and I'm still holding on to 69. Um, Hold on a bit. I won't be long, guys. Yeah, so I'm still holding on to the 69. So as you can clearly see, this is where all these two trades were filled, and I'm holding on to the 79. Two of the trades took profit right at the zero of the previous fib, right? And I'm just holding on to this one here. Now, actually what I wanted to do is, because I'm holding on to this one as a runner, I just want to change my stop loss here to break even. The reason I'm doing that is because if price goes against me, then I know that we are in a possible change in behavior or change in direction. So therefore, I'll change my stance from being a seller to a buyer, or being bearish to being bullish, right? So that's 1.18549. All right, so there we go. So should price go against me, this is a free trade essentially. So if it goes against me, I'm not going to take any profit off of this particular trade, but it will basically tell me that price is ready to move in the opposite direction, and that's what I'm going to be preparing for. Yeah, so what I was actually saying about this whole thing here is, just give me a few seconds here real quick. What I was actually saying about this bigger fib here is, if you take a look at the hourly chart. Now let me just remove everything here, it won't be long. So if you take a look at the hourly chart, your bigger time frame, right? What you can see here is I have this big fib that took place here. I have this big fib that is actually pending, and as you can see, all the trades that I've shown you, well, with exception of the one that I took that was to the upside, the other sell orders that I took are along this particular move here to the downside, right? And as you can see, price has just made contact with a bigger fib based on the hourly chart, right? So in terms of me holding on to this particular trade, I'm going to be holding on to it only until it gets into this particular zone, and that would be it, right? And that would be it. Other than that, that's the whole point, or the reason why. Actually, it's not really the whole reason why I'm holding on to it, but I'm holding on to this particular trade in hopes that price will actually come into this hot zone here, at least make contact with 70, and then show me some signs of making a turn to the upside. And that's the only time that I'm going to be changing my stance. Not really changing my stance, but really just taking profit off of this particular runner that I'm holding on to. Now, what I was saying here was, I'm sure most of y'all have just also noticed here that there's some bigger fib. There's a bigger fib that is actually pending right here, right? Now, remember what I said to you guys. Whenever price comes to rest, that's where you need to leave your fib. And if it breaks to the downside, you just continue to move your zero all the way until you see price start to make, start to retrace back into the hot zone itself. So this hot zone here, this big hot zone here, is really based on the hourly chart as well, right? Um, it's really based on the bigger time frame. So I'm just only waiting for price, to kind of reverse and then come back into this hot zone, this pending one, this big hot zone that is pending from the 15-minute chart. So I'm going to be playing both of those, but I will record this and I will show it to you guys as well. So as soon as I get some signs the price is actually going to reverse at this current hot zone here, the next hot zone that I'm going to be looking at would be this one. Get it? All right, so that's it, guys. Those are the trades that I wanted to show you. Yeah, so I'll upload another video as soon as I get more trades, or I take more trades, right? And try to at least put them out the same day that I take profit, or I maybe lose a little bit of money. But anyway, whatever the eventualities really, or the outcomes, I will post it so you guys can take a look, and hopefully I inspire each and every one of you guys that's been asking me to do this. Other than that, guys, look out for that next lesson that I'm going to be uploading. I'm going to be working on another video to just show you how you can actually ride the trend as opposed to just jumping in as soon as price reverses, which is the preferred kind of way that I trade this particular system, as well as supply and demand. So as soon as price reverses, that's when I want to jump in, and I want to hold on to that particular trade until price shows me that it's ready to move or in the opposite direction, or until the trend ends. But it doesn't mean that you can't trade in the middle of the trend itself. I don't like doing that, but I will show you how you can successfully do that. So until the next time, guys, it's been good. I'm out.